right at the top of the hour. Once again, News Tonight is here to bring you what's making headlines. My name is Patricia Lukoma Pango, and Dorothy Namiyomba is with us on sign language. Let's head straight into the bulletin. President Yoweri Museveni has dismissed international media reports that he says are exaggerating the Ebola situation in Africa, insisting that Ebola is far easier to control than COVID-19, citing Uganda's strong track record in containing pandemics. President Yoweri Museveni assured Ugandans and the international community that the disease can be effectively controlled as long as people adhere to the standard operating procedures.
President Museveni this Thursday moved to calm public fears over Ebola, saying the disease is much easier to contain compared to COVID-19. According to the president, Uganda has not registered widespread local transmission, noting that the few cases detected so far were imported by foreign nationals entering the country.
CNN was saying DRC and Uganda. I don't know why my daughter Kagwa have not countered that. This was mainly DRC. All these people, the 500 or whatever number, then the ones who have died, they are saying 130 or something like that. All of them are on the Congo side mainly. And then one who died here in the Chiburi hospital had come from Congo. And then another one who is, I think, sick in Nakasero. There are few people. So the correct description of the outbreak is that it is mainly in Congo, but with a few people who came from Congo who came here.
President Museveni has since urged Ugandans to continue observing the standard operating procedures, including avoiding handshakes and unnecessary physical contact.
Stop shaking hands. I normally don't like shaking hands, and this is a very good excuse. Now I just wave at you. Shaking hands for what? What do you want to do for me? He
emphasized the importance of early reporting and prompt diagnosis, saying timely medical intervention, including rehydration, can help manage cases before they become severe.
If you report Ebola early, it is treatable. Why? Because you counter the damages that Ebola causes to you. Because Ebola kills by, number one, high fever. High fever, which damages your organs. So therefore, the doctors can control the fever. Can control the fever if it is reported in time. Then vomiting and so on causes dehydration. So early intervention, you rehydrate. You rehydrate the patient. Somebody who is infected can actually be treated by countering the effects of Ebola.
Meanwhile, in a move aimed at preventing cross-border transmission, the president advised that markets along the Uganda-DRC border be temporarily closed until the outbreak is fully contained.
I've told our people to look at the airline, because people were talking about Uganda airline. The vice president will chair a meeting and guide you. The one thing that should stop are the markets near the border, because those are very indisciplined. I hear there was a big market in Toroko where the Ugandans and the Congolese were busy mixing up. Those should be suspended. The Vice President and the Head of Civil Service and the PS Health will guide you. So otherwise, this is really very easy to deal with. It's not a big problem, and we have always dealt with it very easily. It's very easy to deal with.
President Museveni's remarks come after Uganda registered 2 cases of the Bundibugyo strain of the Ebola virus on the 15th of this month. Since then, government through the Ministry of Health has continued to urge the public to immediately report any suspected cases and avoid direct contact with sick persons. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Thank you very much there, Dorcas. Now, President Museveni has called for an overhaul of Uganda's visa system to boost tourism, urging the replacement of short-stay visas with long-term visas over at least 3 years. President Museveni remarked this at the opening of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo being hosted at Speak Resort, Munyonyo.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us.
President Museveni has officially opened the 2026 Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo, POATE, a platform envisaged to pitch Uganda as a must-visit destination.
Your presence here is a stamp of approval, is a stamp of belief, and is a demonstration not just to Ugandans, but to the international community of your conviction in this tourism agenda we have started.
Addressing visiting delegations, the president described Uganda's weather as unique and enviable, thus inviting them to explore the country's rich tourism offerings.
When we are talking of Uganda as a tourism destination, it is for comfort. If you want to live comfortably, the only irritant has been the mosquito, these insects, but we know how to control them. I'm sure here you don't see any mosquito here because we can kill them. You don't have to be there. Otherwise, it's very comfortable to live here.
Considering the importance of visa services in tourist attraction, President says removing short-stay visa barriers and issuing long-term visas of 3 years or more would make it easier for tourists to experience Uganda fully.
Because apparently one of the, I don't know why, they have been giving short visas of 3 months. But the Americans complained, say, we give you visa of 3 years. That the Americans give us a visa of 3 years, and you give them of only 3 months. Why? What are you worried about? Give him of 3 years multiple entry visa. Let him go, come back if he wants. As long as he's paying his bills, are you worried about his pocket? What is your concern? He will not come without money. He will come with money to pay for his bills. So these short visas are not, I don't know why you people are insisting on them. We are going to discuss that.
Museveni reaffirmed government's commitment to tourism as a key driver of economic growth, job creation and foreign exchange earnings. Officials from the ministry and sector agencies emphasized that Uganda remains one of Africa's most attractive destinations, thanks to its biodiversity, stable environment and reputation for warm hospitality.
Tourism continues to contribute significantly to GDP, create employment across the value entrepreneurship, and attract both domestic and international investment.
Uganda has demonstrated resilience and capability in responding to health challenges, including HIV/AIDS, COVID-19, and other global public health threats like Ebola. This confidence in Uganda's system strengthens our image as a reliable and safe destination for visitors and investors alike.
Under our strategy, we have also received the branding rights under AFCON for Uganda for the year 2026-2027. Through sports tourism, we expect to not even double but triple the number of our visitors next year because of AFCON 2027.
The three-day international expo organized by the Uganda Tourism Board has drawn global buyers, investors, tour operators and exhibitors from far and wide.
We understand why tourists would travel from far to come to a wonderful nation like Uganda to find the things that God has blessed us with. And in our space as a hotel, we are there to bridge that gap so that when they come from wherever they have come from, they can come and find curated experiences for luxury in seemingly a far nation like Uganda, simulating better than possibly what they even have in their home countries.
You find there are tourists who want to visit, different parks, different places that we have available in Uganda. So having services of flying cuts down time in terms of visiting the many places, and so us being available, we are getting the attractions here easily accessible to anyone who wishes to travel around and enjoy Uganda.
Running under the theme Wanderlust, the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo is a window showcasing Uganda's diverse attractions from wildlife and adventure tourism to culture, heritage and natural landscapes that reinforce the country's identity as the Pearl of Africa.
Now, the outgoing government chief whip, Dennis Hamson-Obua, has confirmed that this Sunday, 24th May 2026, there will be an NRM parliamentary caucus meeting at State House in Entebbe.
Thank you so much.
This letter, authored by the NRM Secretary General Richard Odong, notified the members of the 12th Parliament that NRM caucus will be convening on Sunday, 24th May 2026.
Of the NRM Parliamentary Caucus,
stamped by the outgoing government chief whip, Dennis Hamson-Obua.
I wish to confirm that the circular from the Secretary General is in the affirmative, that the first meeting of the NRM Parliamentary Caucus of the 12th Parliament of the Republic of Uganda will be held on Sunday, 24th May 2026.
Addressing media on Thursday, 21st May 2026 in Kampala, Obua gave the details of the business at hand in the pending caucus.
So we want to conclude all our internal related businesses before the 25th, which is a constitutional limit for electing the Speaker and Deputy Speaker.
According to Dennis Hamson-Obua, the party members interested in contesting for the two slots must be guided by the internal rules and procedures.
As of now, I do not think there is any member of Parliament of the 12th Parliament belonging to NRM who can claim he or she has already expressed interest.
During this same address, members of the media thought from the government chief whip if the endorsements by the Patriotic League of Uganda chairperson, General Oscar Kainerugaba, for positions of Speaker and Deputy Speaker were still valid.
The Patriotic League of Uganda does not operate as a registered political party, implying it is a pressure group under the National Resistance Movement, whose main objective, in my opinion, is to provide checks and balances internally.
And by so, according to Dennis Hamson-Obua, there is no candidate so far endorsed by the party.
I do not want to affirm that we have a candidate now. That process will definitely end on Sunday when the agreed position of NRM has been adopted and approved.
For Norbert Mao, a member of the Democratic Party, although Dennis Hamson-Obua hasn't been so direct, he appears to bury the political marriage between the two parties.
For the case of the Speaker of Parliament, the National Resistance Movement will definitely come out or unveil a member of NRM to be the Speaker of Parliament.
has forwarded the Right Honorable Anita Ntamo, the outgoing Speaker of Parliament and also a second National Vice Chairperson in NRM party, will be part of the caucus sunset meetings scheduled for the weekend. Obua says the invitation holds no strings attached and leaves no one else behind.
All members are invited. Just like you have stated, I know that she's under investigations, but when SEC is definitely convened, all members of SEC will be invited to attend.
The fourth estate members rounded up the media briefing, inquiring from Dean Samson Obua whether the actions of the Patriotic League of Uganda chairperson and the CDF General House Kiruhura stands the legal grounds not only to be challenged but to be set aside.
General Muhoozi Kainerugaba is the senior presidential advisor in charge of special operations. Now, in executing his roles and responsibilities, threefold. One must be able to understand, is he executing this as CDF, as chairman of PLU, or as senior presidential advisor in charge of special operations?
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Two positions.
Well, thank you very much there for that elaborate report. As we move ahead, as the race for leadership in Uganda's 12th Parliament intensifies, Rose Oviga, the NRM woman member of Parliament for Terego District, has expressed interest in becoming Deputy Speaker of Parliament, calling for transparent and corruption-free leadership in the August House. Obiga said if Jacob Oboth is endorsed for Speaker, leaders should also support a woman for the Deputy Speaker in the spirit of affirmative action and gender balance.
I'm not here to dispute what has been said that Afande, our CDF, said that he has endorsed the Thomas Kayema. First, when we saw the tweet that CDF had endorsed Oboth, he again tweeted that the deputy speakership should be now a lady. This country endorsed affirmative action, and you cannot talk about affirmative action when you take women down. They are human. They are you and me, and the woman to be the deputy is me. I am not asking for too much. I am not greedy. I have not asked to be the speaker. I've said let me start from deputy speaker. At corruption ate that 11th parliament to its bone marrows. Commissioners were giving themselves monies. Accounts were being opened directly in the Bank of Uganda. You know, we didn't even buy a single bus. The buses we are using are for Kadaga. Very annoying. Look at the money we are spending on offices for MPs. This is the time our lovely CDF should endorse me. And I beg, after finishing the corruption case in Parliament, I request it should move to police. We want to clean Uganda.
So by agitating for Honorable Rose to become a deputy speaker, we are only adding more bricks to the foundation that the president has laid. So I am lobbying the rest of the members of Parliament to give a chance to Honorable Rose, because she's a tested leader, a proven leader, outspoken, humble, disciplined, and we think if we push her there, she can serve this country and also help to attract the efforts of the president in Western Nile region.
A little into the health sector, the Ministry of Health has revealed that about 20,000 children are born with sickle cell disease annually without being detected. The Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, made these remarks launching the local production of hydroxyurea production as Quality Chemical Industries Limited.
Quality Chemicals Industries Limited has launched the production of hydroxyurea, a life-saving drug used in the treatment of sickle cell disease. The local production will improve availability and affordability of the treatment for patients across the country.
This facility marks a bold declaration. We will meet our own needs. We will control our own destiny. We will manufacture solutions for African problems in Africa. This is the spirit of self-reliance, and this is only the beginning.
Not actually driven by where the money is. We are driven by solving an African problem using an African solution.
Dr. Diana Twini, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, highlights the growing burden of sickle cell disease, revealing that nearly 20,000 children are born annually with the condition, and many of whom remain undiagnosed.
Over 50% of those admissions there are sickle cell warriors. This is going to reduce those admissions significantly, but they need to be helped to do testing, premarital counseling and testing. That's the only sure way we know that we are going to reduce more children born with sickle cell.
To strengthen management of the disease, the Ministry of Health plans to train village health teams to increase community awareness and promote early detection. The ministry also intends to expand newborn screening services to health center 3s across the country.
We are also going to ensure rapid registration, procurement, and distribution of locally manufactured hydroxyurea to appropriate health facilities across Uganda. We want to train and mentor more of our health workers and also the community health extension workers.
Health experts have also called for increased public awareness and support for people living with sickle cell disease in order to reduce stigma and improve their quality of life.
The women in the reproductive age, they're getting pregnant. And I'm also seeing a sickle cell lady who is pregnant in my pediatric clinic. So we have a problem with transition, and we have to increase the awareness amongst all the physicians.
Yellow eyes are my hallmark all my life. People ask, why do you have yellow eyes? Apart from that, sickle cell has severely damaged my body. I have a mass on my liver. Of course, it's not non-cancerous. I have scars on my body due to surgery. I had my gallbladder removed last year. I don't have a spleen. Did you know that your spleen can just disappear when you have sickle cell?
Hydroxyurea has been proven to reduce painful attacks, lower hospital admissions, and improve the quality of life for people with sickle cell disease. Stakeholders believe local production of the drug will reduce dependence on imports and lower treatment costs. Abdul Nasser Lubwama.
Okay, one more.
Still in the health sector, Uganda is witnessing a growing burden of mental health disorders, with health experts warning that cases of bipolar disorder, depression and anxiety are steadily increasing, especially among the youth.
The rising number of mental health disorder cases in Uganda has raised the concern among health experts and activists, prompting renewed call for awareness, treatment and support for affected persons. To mark a Mental Health Awareness Month, the Uganda Association of Psychiatrists, Butabika National Referral Hospital, Peer Nation and other partners organized a special screening of the Brainstorm film aimed at transforming public understanding of bipolar disorder and mental illness.
Watch a movie about mental health awareness, but specifically bipolar. And bipolar, it is a mental illness whereby people are either overexcited or they are very depressed for a longer time than 1 week.
Speaking at the event, James Roger Sereka, a principal clinical psychologist at Butabika Hospital, highlighted the challenges faced by people living with mental health conditions.
If somebody is able to access treatment early enough, the condition can be arrested and there may be no severe deterioration in functioning. But if somebody takes long to access treatment, the condition can worsen, and then they may not be able to get back to full functioning as they were before.
Edward Nkurungi, the executive director of Peer Nation, says guidance and counseling remain critical in helping survivors fully recover and reintegrate into society.
From the lived experience of mental health challenges, and we have used our expertise in mental health to support others by forming an organization called Peer Nation. Our niche is peer support, peer working. We support those who are challenged mentally and support them along the way on recovery to gain purpose and meaning in life and reintegrate back into the community.
According to health experts, Uganda still has a very small number of psychiatrists serving millions of people, a situation they say requires urgent government intervention and increased funding toward mental health services.
In an environment that has so many triggers to mental health, the economic stress, the instabilities everywhere, the financial burdens on people, the world is changing at a very fast rate. Like, people can't keep up.
Trying to build awareness that these cadres are there, they're important for care, and they need to be recruited within the different health systems because they provide important roles.
This year's Mental Health Awareness Month is being observed under the theme Prioritizing Mental Health for All. I'm Waiva Njuko and Mike Bakabulindi for UBC.
As we slip a little bit away into the health sector, but of course we'll be back again into the health sector as Uganda intensifies efforts to promote a savings culture among citizens. The amended National Social Security Fund law is now expanding mandatory service and social security contributions to both formal and informal workers, as we hear more in this report.
The amended National Social Security Fund law now requires employers to contribute 10%, while employees contribute 5% of their salaries to the NSSF scheme covering both formal and informal workers. The move, aimed at increasing inclusivity in savings, is expected to promote better retirement planning among Ugandans. The Chief People and Culture Officer at National Social Security Fund, Milton Stephen Owere, emphasized the importance of developing a saving culture among Ugandans.
Saving is about acknowledging that we all have a future ahead of us. We can either, for those in formal employment, do the legal 5% contribution and 10% by your employer. Now we have introduced 2 new products. The most important one, the most recent one, is what we call Smart Life, where you voluntarily save.
Owere made the remarks while officiating at the Job Connect engagement hosted by Isbat University. He warned students against neglecting savings and encouraged them to embrace a saving culture earlier in life.
What I was making for our young students is that as they soon transition into employment, they should not get into employment and whatever salary they have, they consume. And the government of Uganda gave us a law which now enables everybody, whether you're employed or not, to save money with NSSF.
The Job Connect digital initiative is designed to bridge the gap between academia and industry by equipping students with skills and opportunities that match the demands of the job market. The platform also seeks to connect students in internship and employment opportunities.
This event, we are exploring opportunities for our finalist students for different employment, internship, project and research. Apart from that, all our other batches, they get an opportunity to understand what is the requirement from the industry.
Job Connect Festival, mainly to bridge the gap between industry and academia.
Stakeholders welcomed the initiative, saying it will help digitalize and modernize the employment sector in Uganda.
This Job Connect event has been an eye-opener to the students, but also us as employers, to know exactly what sort of skills and talent we have out there.
It helps to, let's say, digitize the process, which makes it more efficient, and efficient saves money and time.
The engagement attracted human resource managers and chief executive officers from several companies, including Job Giant Uganda, Tropical Bank, Jubilee Life Insurance, and ISCC Uganda, among others. Irene Faith Nantongo, Dan Lugemwa, UBC News.
Now, in health and sports, the registrar of the Uganda Allied Health Professionals Council, Dr. Peter Nyamtai, has applauded government for transferring health training institutions from the Ministry of Health into Ministry of Education and Sports, saying the move has helped to improve training and address the shortage of health workers in the country.
Before 2007, health training institutions were managed under the Ministry of Health, where stakeholders cited challenges including limited funding, inadequate infrastructure, and shortages of tutors. Following their transfer to the Ministry of Education and Sports, government strengthened supervision, training standards, and enrollment opportunities in health institutions.
As we stand today, we have 97 schools which are giving allied health professional programs, and St. Francis School of Health Sciences is one of them.
It is upon this background that Dr. Nyamtai commended government for the reform while officiating at the graduation ceremony at St. Francis School of Health Sciences.
Whatever facility you work on, you are mandated by law to have registered with one of the professional councils, either nursing council or allied health, and then we give you a license to practice.
The Vice Chancellor of Kisubi University, Brother Dr. Deogratius Mugema, who represented the chief guest, urged graduates to embrace modern science and technology to bridge the gap between traditional and modern medical practices.
You are the engine of innovation. Transformation requires data, modern technology, and practical scientific solutions. Your role is to bridge the gap between traditional practices and the future-ready solutions.
He also reminded graduates that the medical profession requires integrity, compassion, and professionalism because it directly deals with human life.
Transforming service delivery means remembering that every patient, every client, and every laboratory sample represents a human life. Never allow routine to dull your empathy. Treat every individual with utmost dignity, respect, and care.
The chairperson of the governing council, Dr. Chide John Paul, urged graduates to maintain professionalism and discipline at their workplaces and in society.
You are the people to take us to the next level. Professionalism is what we expect from each one of you. We expect you to be professional, not only in administering the medicine or in administering any activity in the hospital, but even the way you walk, even the way you talk to the patients.
Graduates also expressed excitement upon completing their studies and pledged commitment to serving communities professionally.
I want to thank my parents especially. Education is not easy, but the endeavor to do it for us.
I'm grateful for the time, the advice, the money.
It's time for us to take a short break, and we return with other news.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, enendungu ya kusabula. Mikono free on fire, free on fire, free on fire.
In a fast
fast-moving world, why are we still stuck with paperwork? Signing here, stamping there, moving from office to office. It's exhausting. Now, there's a better way. With UG Pass, you can securely prove your identity, sign documents, and access government services anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stress. Everything is instant, safe, secure, and government-backed. UG Pass, your identity secured. Available in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. UG Pass is a product of NITA Uganda.
Welcome back from that short break. As we move ahead, Uganda's telecommunication industry leaders, regulators, government officials and consumers have converged for the second telecommunication CEO Consumer Forum known as TCF Forum 26, hosted by Uganda Communications Commission. The high-level forum is bringing together telecom chief executives, consumer advocacy groups, media representatives and ordinary subscribers in the rare open dialogue aimed at addressing some of Uganda's most pressing communication challenges.
At the center of the discussions are real consumer experiences from communities still grappling with weak or unreliable network signals, limited internet access and connectivity gaps, especially in rural areas. Consumers attending the forum shared frustrations over dropped calls, slow internet speeds and areas that remain underserved despite Uganda's growing digital economy. Telecom operators, on the other hand, outlined ongoing and future investments aimed at improving connectivity across the country through the construction of new telecom towers, fiber optic expansion and increased infrastructure sharing.
And the roadmap is really to ensure that we can solve this problem without disruption to service. And again, there is no magic bullet that will address this for all operators because they have different extent of fiber or infrastructure that has been laid out. So the plan has to be customized or negotiated separately.
Nyombi described the forum as a catalyst for positive change within Uganda's ICT ecosystem and called upon all participants to actively contribute towards building a more connected and digitally inclusive nation.
The Telecom CEO Consumer Forum is a dynamic platform designed to foster direct dialogue between decision makers and end users of telecom services. In facilitating this conversation, our objective is to secure clear commitments on critical issues such as service quality, inclusivity, safety, privacy, affordability, and innovation.
He says the Uganda Communications Commission carries a dual mandate of promoting growth in the telecommunications sector while also protecting consumers.
It's still long and difficult. Far too many people remain without connectivity, and yet our vision is to see a digitally inclusive economy that leaves no one behind.
The forum is also focusing on strategic partnerships that can drive Uganda's broader digital transformation agenda under the Connected Uganda 2030 vision. Mulinge said the telecommunications sector remains central to Uganda's economic transformation agenda, particularly by supporting sectors such as manufacturing, oil and gas.
We have invested across the footprint of 32 service centers that we have across the country in training our teams in sign language, and therefore if you are not able to properly express yourself, we are able to communicate to you in sign language.
Now, Uganda women activists have described the ongoing CID investigations into alleged corruption involving former Speaker Anita Mong as long overdue. Speaking on governance and accountability issues, the Executive Director of the Center for Constitutional Governance, Sarah Birete, said government should have acted earlier.
Two years ago, when ongoing corruption in Parliament was shared on social media, when countries came out and sanctioned the outgoing speaker, criminality cannot be, accused on a whole gender. And nobody should come out to say women are corrupt. Criminality is individual responsibility. This lady was on record abusing processes of Parliament. We used to call her out. Stopping public participation in legislation. Disrespecting fellow MPs. In and out of Parliament. We used to call her out. So what is happening in Parliament is a much delayed action.
Shut the woman's voice with one person. You know how many men? Let me tell you people. When I was appointed Minister for Ethics and Integrity, to fight corruption and build expo values, was this woman whom they are masquerading to be the very example of women's leadership? Was she there? Where was she? She was nowhere. But I was appointed Minister for Ethics and Integrity. Moreover, the first one. Appointed when corruption was what? Was there.
Don't intimidate us by harassing Anita, a woman, and you think all women will say, I think we can't manage. Even men are worse. Harass them as well, then we can know you are fighting corruption. If it is an issue of corruption, go out for those that are also in those offices and are abusing them.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Local Government, Benjamin Komomanya, has hailed the NRM government for allowing Ugandans to democratically choose leaders of their choice during the presidential, parliamentary and local government elections held in January, February this year.
Speech delivered on his behalf by Emmanuel Muhanguzi, the Commissioner in charge of Local Economic Development at the Ministry of Local Government, during the swearing-in ceremony of Kiruhura local government leaders.
And the dispensation of talking about lifting our people from poverty, the issues of livelihoods must be at the core and must be a preoccupation in our thinking from today.
The NRM chairperson for Kiruhura district, Kamisi Moses, thanked residents for overwhelmingly voting for the NRM and urged them to continue supporting government programs aimed at fighting household poverty.
The people of Kiruhura understood the message of His Excellency President Museveni and also understood his manifesto. I was blessed that I attended the swearing-in, and it is communication. It is very well stated that this is Sanja no sleep. No sleep meaning it's Sanja for performance in service delivery as a government and as a party, but also no sleep to anything that has been in a way tampering with the good services of the party and the government to the people.
Henry Mugisha, brand ambassador of the presidential initiative aimed at promoting banana production, called upon Ugandans to support the run scheduled for 20th June in Bushenyi to raise funds for improving nutrition among school-going children.
As presidential initiative on banana, because Reverend Professor Florence Mulanga has invited him as a chief runner. You know, presidential initiative on banana, he's a patron, he will be in his family. So we have invited him on 20th June.
The LC5 chairperson Mukagolu Tetevia said Kiruhura is no longer only known for milk production, noting that residents are now also engaged in coffee growing, banana farming and other businesses that have improved household incomes.
Who has no classroom in Rushoro Parish? They should speak for a patient who cannot access a health facility in Nakayanja sub-county. When we knock on the doors of ministries, let us knock with them. To the technical staff, you are the professionals, you are the engine, but I am the driver.
The Speaker of the Council, Nicholas Kamjira, pledged to unite councillors and implement the President's political slogan of Chisanja no sleep, emphasizing hard work and service delivery among leaders. Richard Chilembeka compiled the story.
Well, as we look at that story on HIV and Stroke Memorial, well, we delve into that story as we look more in this report.
In the 1980s, the HIV/AIDS epidemic spread fear across the African continent, with Uganda recording its first HIV/AIDS-related death at Kasensero landing site in Rakai district. Due to myths and misconceptions, limited awareness and the lack of access to ARVs in the early years of the epidemic, many people lost their lives to HIV/AIDS. Since 1983, many communities hold a Candlelight Memorial Day to honor and remember people who have died from HIV/AIDS, while also showing support for those living with the disease.
Our other role is now to continue mobilizing to ensure that we prevent those diseases that come with living with HIV, aging with HIV, and living long on ARVs. We are also seeing that a number of us have grown over the last 40 years. I, for one, I was tested in 94. Now I've become an older person. I'm 57. So we are seeing we need to also have interventions that address the aging and the older person.
The late Philip Bongole Lutaya, a legendary musician and activist, publicly declared his HIV status, breaking the silence and stigma surrounding the virus.
Out there somewhere, alone and frightened, all the darkness. The days are long.
First and foremost, I think we need to thank His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda for offering the leadership in the HIV response. From the early 90s up to date, we have seen great progress made in actually all angles. In early 90s, we had the HIV prevalence about 18%. The HIV prevalence. Coming down, up to now we have 4.9 HIV prevalence.
However, there are still issues facing HIV service delivery.
Funding is one of the biggest challenges we have. As we are all aware, there's been funding cuts from the previous funders, so programs are generally struggling.
Nafofano says one of its biggest challenges is the lack of a permanent workspace and is now seeking 10 billion shillings to construct a state-of-the-art HIV shelter home of champions facility, according to the Executive Director Flavia Chomukama.
At the moment, we are housed by Uganda AIDS Commission because the home we had on St. Emma Road, which was the first office of Uganda AIDS Commission, was reclaimed by Church of Uganda because the lease was non-renewable, and so we are having a seat here at Uganda AIDS Commission, but we are aspiring to get a home, a shelter of people living with HIV called the Home of Champions, and we are looking at having about 10 billion to have this home in the nearest future.
Uganda Executive Director Grace Naiga Bebwa has expressed concern over the recently signed sovereignty bill, saying it could hinder service delivery.
Whereas we recognize the spirit behind which this law has been enacted to protect the sovereignty of the country, we are yet to assess the risk and the impact around its enactment. One is that it has put in place a cap beyond which we have to declare funds when we receive foreign aid, and that in our context would lead to delays within the response and the impact lives and the impact interventions, especially around health and around treatment.
The International Candlelight Memorial Day is celebrated with events like candlelight vigils, community walks, speeches, music and educational campaigns. Amwaye Vanjuko for UBC.
And all this transpired at the International Candlelight Memorial Day held at Uganda AIDS Commission headquarters in Ntinda. Right now we're going to take a short break and return with a business segment. Stay with us.
Somchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight, huh? For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later, huh?
Daddy,
Why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Series. Perfect snap, any zoom. Enjoy 9 GB free MTN data valid for 3 months. Available in any Techno or MTN outlet near you. MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Now into the world of business, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Water and Environment, Alfred Okot Okidi, has called on Ugandans to embrace local innovations as a key driver of national development and homegrown solutions to the country's challenges. Let's hear more in this report.
The expo was organized by the Appropriate Technology Center under the Ministry of Water and Environment under the theme Innovation to Impact, Scaling Climate Resilient Technology for Uganda.
And I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to all exhibitors and call upon all Ugandans to come and see the appropriate technology that is relevant for them, not only in the water and environment sector, but in so many other fields. And these are indigenous solutions, low cost and appropriate. And you do not get a better and integrated technology assembly like what we have in this particular place. So, welcome.
Government ministries, departments and agencies continue to champion technological process across different sectors by supporting innovations at various stages.
The mandate of the Appropriate Technology Center, part of the mandate is to identify innovations and support them to scale, also to popularize these innovations among the targeted stakeholders. That's why, in most cases, when someone comes to me with an innovation or idea, I never rubbish it. Because I know that by the time someone left their bed to sit and think of something, it is worth appreciating, and there is no innovation that is 100% perfect.
The expo attracted young innovators from institutions including Makerere University, Cavendish University, Uganda, and Nakawa Vocational Institute, among others. Students from Cavendish University showcased the EcoFarm app, a digital platform designed to help farmers monitor weather seasons, pests and diseases affecting crops and livestock,
so that we can sensitize farmers on how to use the application, and also the government can help us to develop and scale this application so as it can help in the SDGs of zero hunger and food security.
This is a line alert system that can also be used for disaster management in 2 key areas: floods and then 2 landslides. Yes. So this system has 3 sensors. We have soil moisture,
Okidi said the expo is intended to expand the potential impact of scientific research, technology and innovation to benefit communities across the country. The manager of the Appropriate Technology Center, Dr. Asha Brick Natete, noted that the expo provides innovators with a platform to showcase their products and interact with potential users for possible adoption.
It's very, very important that you make the technology appropriate for the user. So, I want to congratulate you for organizing this exhibition.
Uganda continues to face challenges linked to environmental pollution, degradation and climate change caused by human activity. Stakeholders believe such technology expos can provide practical and sustainable solutions. For UBC News, I am Sudat Kai.
Thank you very much, Sudat Kai. Now, in the area of mindset change, over 300 young entrepreneurs have credited the government of Uganda through Enterprise Uganda for equipping them with business knowledge and skills that have helped them transform and grow their enterprises. Let's hear more.
On entrepreneurship. And then we do a follow-up to hear what has happened to people who attended the training. Today we had 500 people coming back to testify on what has happened to their businesses, to their finances, as a result of the training that they have attended at Enterprise Uganda. And indeed the stories were very inspiring. Somebody who started with as little as 5 chicken, today has got 480 chicken in a span of just about 4 months. Somebody who started with the 2 million, bought 10 goats, in 4 months is at 40 goats. These are the kind of stories we are talking about. And there are many who have come here and they are saying, Mr. Chichi, we have come back, but I've got a loan. Then we do a reminder to such people and say that in the course of the training, we told you that by the time you sign for a loan, you will be the first to confirm whether you'll be able to pay that loan or not. For now, you are selling like the way the Teso person is selling the potatoes from Teso.
It's a poultry farm that was started in 2014 with 250 birds. Currently, we have 3,500 birds. It's usually a range of 3,500 to 4,000 birds. And we have had that number for the last 5 years. How I have benefited from Enterprise Uganda, like I said, we've had that number for the last 4 to 5 years, and I have been trying to expand, but I have been fearing. So we would save money and buy land, keep saving slowly. When I attended the Enterprise Uganda training, I got the courage. One of the ladies talked about how land is there to help you as an asset. So if you have land and you just are holding money neat, it doesn't benefit you. So
the start is okay because the knowledge is there, the people to consult are there, and the partnerships in the starting phase are available.
People started buying these pancakes and I'm like, wow, this can work. So Mr. Chichi talked about a niche. So I discovered that my niche is this Sim because Sim moves so much. People buy Sim. When I buy like 10 kilos, in a week Sim is done. I'm like, wow, this is my niche. And then
So what? It's a dog. Of course, there are communities that eat dog.
Very interesting business story there, but of course it's time for sports. Uganda's powerlifting team has promised a decent result at the Africa Open Powerlifting Championship in Oran, Algeria, which is a qualifier to the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics game. Let's hear more in this report.
Leading the charge at the championship that for Uganda gets underway tomorrow are Sebagala Ismail in the 72 kilogram category. Bazira Dennis competing in the 88 kilogram class. Zaweja Rebecca in the 86 kg division, and Nakayebe Janat in the 67 kg program. They are under the guidance of Coach Kenneth Sekiranda.
We are here in Orlando. We are preparing for the coming competitions of Africa Open Powerlifting, which is starting today. But our athletes, they will be competing tomorrow by noon, East African time.
The championship has attracted strong competition from across Africa and beyond, including Nigeria, Kenya, Morocco, Ghana, Cameroon, Egypt, Zambia, Togo, Ivory Coast, Guinea, as well as Iran and Iraq.
And the good thing, we thank God that our bodies are ready to compete and win. Just expect our medals from this place.
Team Uganda says the focus remains delivering strong performances now as preparations intensify for the Commonwealth Games this July, where 3 of these athletes will represent Uganda.
I'm very prepared, and according to the training I've got, I'm sure this will give me the base of how I'll perform in Commonwealth. And yeah, we are really prepared, we are in good condition, and we expect good results.
Well, that's all we had time for. Thank you once again for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango, and Dorothy Namiyomba has been with us on sign language. Let's meet again tomorrow. Bye-bye.